the next question is how to manage mixer presets in Studio One. So let's jump to something different today. I usually work in FL Studio, but today I wanted to answer this question for Studio One. So here we are in Studio One, and I have already a track loaded. And one of the things that I like about Studio One, I've talked about it in the past, is my favorite DAW to make beats is FL Studio, and my favorite DAW to mix used to be Pro Tools, now is Studio One. I'm not going back to Pro Tools, not because of I don't have the money to buy the tool, which I think it was a little bit too expensive, in my opinion, but the features that Studio One gives me, I never found in Pro Tools. So I don't think I will ever go back from Studio One. I think it became my favorite DAW for mixing and mastering. Maybe not mastering, but for mixing and recording. This is my favorite DAW right at this moment. And I really enjoy the fact that I can have my own plugins here. And I can, all the ways to work here in Studio One, it's really, really intuitive. And I think the PreSonus made a really, really good job in terms of usability for this DAW. And yeah, so let's go into the question, which is how to manage mixer presets in FL Studio. So first of all, what is a mixer preset? It's something that it's a preset like for a synth that holds what plugins you have in your tracks and the state of those plugins. So let's say that I use something, let's say that I use in every single track for my mixing, I use a Pro EQ, and I also use a compressor, which I do. And this is actually a live example. And maybe I can also use, let me see, let's use Kramer Tape Stereo just for the sake of the tutorial. Let's say that this is my EQ chain, and I use this in almost every single track. What do I do? Instead of having to always drag and drop the EQs or the compressor and the Kramer Tape Stereo, what I can do is just save this state here. And whenever I want to load a new track, I just can quickly recall this state and load all the plugins. So let me show you. So we have the plugins already in the sequence that we want. And now we can go here and store effects chain. Let's do that. And let's say this, let's call this the producer show chain, something like that. And you can see that we have a Pro EQ, our compressor. Maybe we can have a Pro EQ, a compressor plus, where is my plus? Plus tape saturation, something like that, and I can put it in the Daily Beats folder. Of course, you can put in whatever folder you want. There's a bunch of folders here. If you don't have a folder, you can just delete this, and let's call this the producer show, like that, and it will create the folder for you. So let's hit OK, and that's it. And now if I want to add a new track, let's go here, let's put one track only. Okay, and let's say that I do my leveling. I say, okay, I like that. Now I want to mix this. I can go here and I go to the producer show and I just click this and it automatically loads all the plugins for me. So instead of having to go here, look for the plugin that I want and then drag and drop, I just go here to that small triangle and I load whatever I want. So that's it. But now it's the question, okay, so now how do I delete this? I created this plugin or this chain, but now I think I want to delete this. How can I go back and manage this preset or this chain here? It's very simple. We go here to the browser. As you can see, we open up the browser and then we go to effects. And then we have here something called FX chain. And if I open, you see that now I have here the producer show which is a folder with this preset here. And you can see that we have a Pro EQ, a compressor, and a Kramer tape stereo. So if I want to delete this, I go here. I can also rename this, show in Explorer. Let's delete this, yes, and it's gone. It's as simple as that. It's very, very simple and intuitive to work. You just have to go here to the chain and manage all your presets or your mixer chain presets here. It's here, and you can create them right away here by clicking on Store Effects Chain. And I think that's it. It's a very simple question, but very powerful. It's something that I use every single day that when I'm mixing, and it's really, really cool. And this is a little bit different from FL Studio because FL Studio also recalls the mixer volume here or value. And I don't like that too much because I like to make, let's say that I like to make my own mixing, or for instance, when I'm composing, I'm changing the, oops, not there. I can't click on the right things. I'm changing the levels. Let's say that I have a bunch of levels like that. And now let's say that I want to just copy the plugin chain to a specific channel. If I do so, it will also copy the volume, which I don't necessarily want. So I think Studio One is a little bit better in terms of that because it only recalls the effects chain. It doesn't recall the track volume because if I'm in a mixing context, I like to just recall my plugins and I don't want to mess up my levels because I've been working on my levels and I just want to now bring up some of my favorite EQs or favorite chain for processing. And I just do that and it just brings all the effects, but it doesn't mess up with my image or with my volume or with my balance. So that's one thing that I really enjoy about Studio One. And that's why I think I really love this DAW to mix. It's one of my favorite DAWs right now in the moment for mixing and recording. It's really intuitive, really easy to use, and the sound is just amazing.